Hi, welcome to this ecweb screencast. This session is for evaluators. I'm going to demonstrate writing an ECSE Evaluation Report using the new ECSE Evaluation Report Form found on the Forms menu under Evaluation Forms. A separate EI Evaluation Report Form has been developed and is listed just beneath this form on the Forms menu. It is almost the same, so I won't make a screencast about it, but feel free to be in touch with any questions. This evaluation report form can be used for initial ECSE eligibilities as well as EI to ECSE transition evaluations. I'm going to demonstrate some of the key features of this form, including drop-down menus and sections that fill in automatically. Of course, you'll enter the date of the evaluation, evaluator name and location. You'll see there's a drop-down menu for common evaluation locations. These can also be edited. You'll also notice that there is room for multiple evaluators to write a combined report. Most elements of a speech and language evaluation can be conducted by a speech therapist can be incorporated into this form. However, if a speech therapist evaluated the child and results will be reported separately, you'll enter their name here in this box and click here to include this section in your printed report. Like most sections of this form, if you don't check the box and enter information, it will not print on the final copy. So taking that and that away means that this entire section will not print on the final copy. The next thing you're going to do is click the domains that you've evaluated. So again, you're only going to check communication if communication evaluation results will be included in this report. If the speech therapist will be reporting results separately, don't check communication because you've already said that above in this section here. So you'll check the domain areas evaluated. Speech therapists will check articulation if they want articulation and language sample sections to be available for them to fill in. At this point, checking articulation is the only way to have the language sample information show. But if we move to using this form for CD evaluations instead of DD evaluations with multiple evaluators, we'll change this so you can report on language sample results even if you didn't do articulation testing. Here you'll enter who provided the background information. Usually this is the parents or foster parents. If this field is left blank, then the printed report will simply read background information and the words provided by will not show up. Here you'll enter the developmental concerns, referral information. You're going to enter any other pertinent information. You'll notice here that the health status, hearing, and vision screening fields are white. And white fields on this form mean you cannot enter the information here. Instead, you're going to enter it on the developmental page of the IFSP, and it will autofill onto this evaluation report form. So this may feel like an odd sequence to you, but as you get used to a new workflow, I think you'll appreciate the time savings. What I usually do is complete the developmental page before I work on the evaluation report. Then when I come to write my eval report, it's already partly finished. In this observation section, you can enter specific information about the observation that you completed, etc. Some folks prefer just to state that the child was observed during the evaluation, and then they enter more specific notes in the comments section of each domain below. Some folks do a little of both. The form is flexible for you to personalize. Here you'll enter who you talked with to confirm that the evaluation is believed to be accurate. Again, if it's left blank, this entire section will not print. Within the evaluation results section, the first field is where we note what skills the child is demonstrating in that area, and this information comes directly from the Can Do section of the developmental page. So you'll enter the Can Do on the development page and it automatically shows up on your evaluation report. So, Julio can, whatever it is that he can do, it's going to automatically show up on your evaluation report. Again, you'll see here is where you'll enter your health, hearing, and vision information, etc. If you have a template on the development page that you like to use, remember to apply it first and then individualize the information. Now, even if the child you evaluated did not qualify for services, go ahead and enter the can-do information on the development page so that it'll show up on your evaluation report. It's okay if it hangs out there on the development page for a child who didn't qualify. The suggested goals portion of the evaluation results on the evaluation report template form come from the needs to learn on the development page right here. So you may choose to go ahead and enter that information while you're on that page. Whatever it may be. I usually finish the evaluation report and then apply goals, which automatically enters on the needs to learn on the development page, as you know. And then that will therefore, in sequence, fill in the suggested goals on the ECSE report. So if we go back to the ECSE report form, you'll see that under the evaluation results, the comments have a drop-down choice of common comments. Skills are typical compared to kids of the same age or delayed compared to children of the same age. You can choose one of those, or if you would like to individualize it, you can enter that here. Scores are slightly below the typical range, but not significant enough to support eligibility, whatever that comment may be. And then this is also the space in which you're going to add your individualized comments about what skills the child was not engaging in or whatever you observed in that area. So after you've completed your evaluation results section, you would move down to the summary and recommendations. So you'll check the box by a test table to include it in your printed report. You check a box, it appears, then you're going to enter your data, and you'll select whether the results are within the typical range or if they support eligibility. If neither of these comments applies, then you can go ahead and individualize your comment here in this section. Or you may choose to select one of these comments and offer additional comments in this area. Below the tables for the standardized tests is the section for reporting APS percentages. In the APS section, the percentages from the most recent APS entered on the child info page will automatically transfer to this ECSE report. If there's no data to draw from, there'll be a nifty little link to take you to the child assessments page. If you did not evaluate all domains, you'll go ahead and begin an APS entry and enter the data for the domains that you did evaluate so that your scores will transfer to the report. So I'm just making stuff up here. Let's say I did cognitive testing, communication testing, and social. The procedure for entering the APS data from initial evaluation may differ from agency to agency. At Early Childhood Cares, evaluators will enter the scores for the domains they evaluated, and then the service coordinators will administer the rest of the domains later, and they'll edit the entry that the evaluator started in order to enter the remaining data. So we'll go back to the evaluation report form, and you'll see that an area that you didn't enter data for is just going to show up as a percentage. Now this looks funny, but this is only the view that you have now. When you go to print it, you'll notice that the adaptive gross motor and fine motor in this example, those domains will not show up at all, and you will only see the domains for which there's a percentage. So don't worry about this little percentage mark. And you're going to go down and check whether the testing results support or don't support the eligibility for early childhood special education. Enter any additional comments you have here in this box. And then click the areas in which the child is experiencing delays. And if you evaluated an area with results from the typical range, you would indicate that there. Enter anyone who will be sent a carbon copy of the report. And remember, this is a working form, so any changes made to the development page, health, hearing, and vision fields or the can do or needs to learn fields will automatically change this form. So some evaluators may wish to save a PDF copy of the report when they print it for filing in order to preserve an electronic copy on their computers, because it will change as those areas are updated on the child's IFSP. I've entered my contact information here, and if you have any questions about this report form, you are welcome to be in touch, and I will do my best to remedy them. Thanks.